Salina, Kansas. Salina/Esland/ is a city in and the county seat of Saline County, Kansas, United States. As of the 2010 census, the city population was 47,707. Located in one of the world's largest wheat-producing areas, Salina is a regional trade center for north-central Kansas. It is home to multiple colleges. Prior to European colonization of the area, the site of Celina was located within the territory of the Kansa people. Claimed first by France as part of Louisiana and later acquired by the United States with the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, it was within the area organized by the U.S. as Kansas Territory in 1854. In 1856, a colony led by Preston B. Plum established the first American settlement near the site at a location on the Saline River. Settlers led by journalist and lawyer William A. Phillips founded Celina in 1858. During the following 2 years, the territorial legislature chartered the town company, organized the surrounding area as Saline County, and named Celina the county seat. The westernmost town on the Smoky Hill Trail, Celina established itself as a trading post for westbound immigrants, prospectors bound for Pikes Peak, and area American Indian tribes. The town's growth halted with the outbreak of the American Civil War when much of the male population left to join the U.S. Army. In 1862, local residents fended off American Indian raiders only to fall victim to a second assault by bushwhackers later that year. In May and June 1864, the Celina Stockade was built to protect the town against further Indian raids. Troops were garrisoned in Celina until March 1865, and some may have returned in June 1865. The stockade was probably used until at least spring or summer 1865. Growth returned with the soldiers after the war, and the town expanded rapidly with the arrival of the Kansas Pacific Railway in 1867. Celina incorporated as a city in 1870. The cattle trade arrived in 1872, transforming Celina into a cow town. The trade brought the city further prosperity, but also a rowdy culture that agitated local residents. The cattle trade relocated westward just 2 years later. During the 1870s, wheat became the dominant crop in the area, steam-powered flour mills were built, and agriculture became the engine of the local economy. In 1874, Celina resident E.R. Switzer introduced alfalfa to area farmers, and its cultivation spread throughout the state. By 1880, the city was an area industrial center with several mills, a carriage and wagon factory, and a farm implement works. Celina was the location of the first garment factory of jeans maker Lee, which opened in 1889. Over the following decade, 3 railroads were built through the city. The success of the wholesale and milling industries drove Celina's growth into the early 1900s such that, at one point, it was the 3rd largest producer in the state and the 6th largest in the United States. In 1943, the U.S. Army established Smoky Hill Army Airfield southwest of the city. The installation served as a base for strategic bomber units throughout World War II. Renamed Smoky Hill Air Force Base in 1948, the base closed the following year only to be reopened in 1951 as Schilling Air Force Base, part of Strategic Air Command. The reopening of the base triggered an economic boom in Celina, causing the city's population to increase by nearly 2/3 during the 1950s. The U.S. Department of Defense closed the base permanently in 1965, but the city of Celina acquired it and converted it into Celina Municipal Airport and an industrial park. This led to substantial industrial development, attracting firms such as Beechcraft, and made manufacturing a primary driver of the local economy. Today, Celina remains a center of trade, transportation, and industry in north-central Kansas. Celina is located at 38°5025 and 97°3641 W/38.84028° and 97.61139° W/38.84028. minus 97.61139 at an elevation of 1,224 feet. Located in north-central Kansas at the intersection of Interstate 70 and Interstate 135, it is 81 miles north of Wichita, Kansas, 164 miles west of Kansas City, Missouri, and 401 miles east of Denver, Colorado. Celina lies in the Smoky Hills region of the Great Plains, approximately 6 miles west-southwest of the confluence of the Salina and Smoky Hill rivers. The Smoky Hill River runs north then northeast through the eastern part of the city. The Salina River flows southeast immediately north of the city. In the northeast part of the city, the old channel of the Smoky Hill branches from the river's current course and winds west, north, and back east before draining back into the river. Mulberry Creek, a tributary of the Salina, flows northeast through the far northern part of the city. Dry Creek, a tributary of Mulberry Creek, flows north through the western part of the city. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 25.15 square miles, of which 25.11 square miles is land and 0.04 square miles is water. Celina lies in the transition area between North America's humid subtropical and humid continental climate zones. Consequently, summers in Celina are typically hot and humid, and winters are typically cold and dry. On average, January is the coldest month, July is the hottest month, and May is the month with the greatest precipitation. As is common in the region, Celina is prone to severe thunderstorms which may produce damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes. On June 21, 1969, an F3 tornado struck the southern part of the city, severely damaging or destroying more than 100 homes and businesses and injuring 60 people. On September 25, 1973, a second F3 tornado passed through the southeast part of town, injuring 6 people and destroying 2 houses and a trailer park. On June 11, 2008, another EF3 tornado passed on the south side of the town, severely damaging several buildings. The annual average temperature in Celina is 56.1 degree F. The monthly daily average temperature ranges from 31.0 degree F in January to 81.1 degree F in July. The high temperature reaches or exceeds 90 degree F an average of 62.6 days per year and reaches or exceeds 100 degree F an average of 14.6 days per year. The low temperature falls below the freezing point, 32 degree F, an average of 111.8 days per year, and below 0 degree F an average of 3.8 days per year. The hottest temperature recorded in Celina was 117 degree F on August 12, 1936, the coldest temperature recorded was 31 degree F on February 13, 1905. On average, Celina receives 32.2 in of precipitation per year, with the largest share being received in May through August. The average relative humidity is 64%. Snowfall averages 18.4 inches per year. Celina is the anchor city of the Celina Micropolitan Statistical Area, which includes all of Saline and Ottawa counties. As of the 2010 census, there were 47,707 people, 19,391 households, and 12,024 families residing in the city. The population density was 2,092.4 people per square mile. There were 20,803 housing units at an average density of 916.4 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 86.2% white, 3.7% African American, 2.3% Asian, 0.5% American Indian, 0.1% Pacific Islander, 3.8% from some other race, and 3.3% from 2 or more races. Hispanics and Latinos of any race were 10.7% of the population. There were 19,391 households, of which 31.6% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 45.3% were married couples living together, 4.9% had a male householder with no wife present, 11.8% had a female householder with no husband present, and 38.0% were non-families. 31.6% of all households were made up of individuals, and 11.6% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.39, and the average family size was 2.99. In the city, the population was spread out with 25.1% of residents under the age of 18, 9.9% between the ages of 18 and 24, 25.4% from 25 to 44, 25.3% from 45 to 64, and 14.3% 65 years of age or older. The median age in the city was 36.4 years. The gender makeup of the city was 49.4% male and 50.6% female. The median income for a household in the city was $42,027, and the median income for a family was $54,491. Males had a median income of $39,143 versus $28,145 for females. The per capita income for the city was $23,253. About 9.3% of families and 13.6% of the population were below the poverty line, including 21.1% of those under age 18 and 7.3% of those age 65 or over. As of the census of 2000, there were 45,679 people, 18,523 households, and 11,873 families residing in the city. The population density was 2,009.6 people per square mile. There were 19,599 housing units at an average density of 862.2 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 87.76% white, 3.57% Black or African American, 0.56% Native American, 1.96% Asian, 0.05% Pacific Islander, 3.78% from other races, and 2.32% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 6.71% of the population. There were 18,523 households, of which 31.5% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 49.8% were married couples living together, 10.5% had a female householder with no husband present, and 35.9% were non-families. 30.1% of all households were made up of individuals and 11.3% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.39 and the average family size was 2.98. In the city, the population was spread out with 25.9% under the age of 18, 10.0% from 18 to 24, 28.7% from 25 to 44, 21.1% from 45 to 64, and 14.3% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 35 years. For every 100 females, there were 95.8 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 92.8 males. The median income for a household in the city was $36,066, and the median income for a family was $45,433. Males had a median income of $31,250 versus $21,944 for females. The per capita income for the city was $18,593. About 6.7% of families and 9.6% of the population were below the poverty line, including 10.6% of those under age 18 and 9.2% of those age 65 or over. Salina was the location of the first garment factory for Lee Jeans, which opened in 1889. Manufacturing, education, health, and social services are the predominant industries in Salina. Agricultural transportation is also a major industry. Major employers in the city include these: Tony's Pizza, a Schwan Food Company brand, has operations in Celina to produce frozen pizzas and food for school cafeterias and other institutions. Philips Lighting, a global manufacturer of lighting solutions. Exide Battery, a storage battery manufacturer. Great Plains Manufacturing, a farm equipment manufacturer. Eldorado National, a commercial bus painter, and a Surian, an insurance provider. As of 2010, 71.0% of the population over the age of 16 was in the labor force. 0.4% was in the armed forces, and 70.6% was in the civilian labor force, with 66.9% being employed and 3.7% unemployed. The composition, by occupation, of the employed civilian labor force was 27.2% in management, business, science, and arts, 25.4% in sales and office occupations, 19.4% in service occupations, 9.9% in natural resources, construction, and maintenance, 18.2% in production, transportation, and material moving. The three industries employing the largest percentages of the working civilian labor force were educational services, healthcare and social assistance, manufacturing, and retail trade. The cost of living in Celina is relatively low, compared to a U.S. average of 100. The cost of living index for the city is 80.9. As of 2010, the median home value in the city was $109,700. The median selected monthly owner cost was $1,070 for housing units with a mortgage and $396 for those without, and the median gross rent was $599. According to Celina's 2014 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, these are the city's top employers. Salina is a city of the first class with a commission manager form of government which it adopted in 1921. The city commission consists of 5 members elected at large, one of whom the commission annually selects to serve as mayor. Commission candidates who receive the most and second most votes are elected for a 4-year term. The candidate who receives the third most votes is elected for a 2-year term. The commission sets policy and appoints the city manager, who serves as the chief executive, responsible for administering the city government and appointing all city employees. The Celina Fire Department operates 4 stations inside the city. As the county seat, Celina is the administrative center of Salina County. The county courthouse is located downtown, and all departments of the county government base their operations in the city. Celina lies within Kansas's 1st U.S. Congressional District. For the purposes of representation in the Kansas legislature, the city is located in the 24th District of the Kansas Senate and the 69th, 71st, and 108th districts of the Kansas House of Representatives. Celina Public Schools operates 12 schools in Celina. There are 4 private schools in Celina. Interstate 70 and U.S. Route 40 run concurrently east-west-north of Celina. Interstate 135 and U.S. Route 81 run concurrently north-south along the west side of the city. The I-70/I-135 interchange northwest of the city is the northern terminus of I-135. K-140, which approaches Celina from the southwest, formally ends at its interchange with I-135 before entering the city as State Street. North of Celina, the city's main north-south thoroughfare, 9th Street, becomes K-143 at its interchange with I-70. CityGo is the local public transport bus service, operating 5 routes in the city. CityGo also provides intercity paratransit bus service to surrounding communities. Greyhound Lines provides bus service westward towards Denver, Colorado, and eastward toward Kansas City, Missouri. Bus service is provided daily southward towards Wichita, Kansas by Beeline Express. Celina Municipal Airport is located southwest of the city. Used primarily for general aviation, it hosts one commercial airline, United Express, with flights to Chicago O'Hare and Denver International Airport. Union Pacific Railroad operates one freight rail line through Celina. Its Kansas Pacific Line runs northeast-southwest through the northern part of the city. Celina is also the southeastern terminus of the Celina subdivision of the Kansas and Oklahoma Railroad. The city government's Department of Public Works is responsible for water treatment and distribution, wastewater removal, sewer maintenance, and trash collection. Western Energy provides electric power. Residents primarily use natural gas for heating fuel. Natural gas service is provided by Kansas Gas Service. There are 2 hospitals in Celina: Celina Regional Health Center, a 204-bed not-for-profit general medical and surgical facility, and Salina Surgical Hospital, a specialized, 16-bed surgical facility. The Salina Journal is the local newspaper, published daily. Salina is a center of broadcast media for north-central Kansas. 3 AM and 13 FM radio stations are licensed to and/or broadcast from the city. Salina is in the Wichita-Hutchinson television market, and 5 television stations broadcast from the city. These include 2 independent stations as well as ABC, Fox, and NBC affiliates which are satellites of their respective affiliates in Wichita. Salina is also home to the only public, educational, and government access cable TV channels in the state. Cox Communications is the main cable system serving the city, and customers can see local programming and create their own programming to be shown on channels 20 and 21. The city holds several community events throughout the year. Each June, the Salina Arts and Humanities Department holds the Smoky Hill River Festival. Held in Oakdale Park and lasting 3.5 days, the festival includes arts and crafts shows, music concerts, games, and other activities. Originally held as a downtown street parade in 1976 to celebrate the United States bicentennial, the festival proved popular enough for the city to hold it every year. To celebrate Independence Day, the city puts on its All-American 4th and Play Day in the park, which includes children's games, music, and dance performances in Oakdale Park. The Smoky Hill Museum Street Fair takes place in September and includes a parade, a chili cook-off, and historic demonstrations. In November, downtown Celina hosts the city's Christmas festival, which includes a 5K run, a mile walk, live music, dance performances, children's entertainment, and the Parade of Lights, a parade of floats decorated with Christmas lights. The city's private organizations host several annual expos, fairs, trade shows, and various other events. Several of these pertain to area agriculture, including the Chamber of Commerce's Mid-America Farm Expo in March, the Discover Salina Naturally Festival in May, the 4-H Tri-Rivers Fair and Rodeo in August, and the Land Institute's Prairie Festival in September. Other annual events held in the city include the Home Builders Associations of Salina's Home and Leisure Show in February, the ISIS Shrine Circus and Saline County Mounted Patrol Rodeo in April, the Smoky Hill Sportsman Expo in August, Blue Heaven Studios Blues Masters at the Crossroads Festival in October, and the Prairie Long Rifles Wild West Trade Show in December, as well as several car shows and high school sports events. Operated by the city government's Arts and Humanities Department, the Smoky Hill Museum contains artifacts and exhibits on local history, agriculture, and education with collections dating back to 1879. The museum also offers public educational programs. The Tony's Pizza Events Center is the primary venue in the city for large indoor events. It includes a 7,500-seat multipurpose arena and the 18,000 sq-foot Heritage Hall Convention Center. The center hosts concerts, sporting events, and trade shows. The Rolling Hills Wildlife Adventure is a public zoo and wildlife park located 6 miles west of the city near Headville. In addition to its animal exhibits, the zoo includes a wildlife museum. Indian Rock is the tallest point in the Celina area and is home to a park and several hiking trails. Celina Community Theater is a regionally acclaimed theater, producing 7 seasonal shows and 3 summer shows every year. Productions range from the contemporary, such as ABBA's Mamma Mia, and Disney's Newsies, to classics such as Miracle on 34th Street. There are more than 70 Christian churches in and around Celina, including the Cathedral of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Celina and the Cathedral of the Episcopal Diocese of Western Kansas. The Roman Catholic Diocese has its regional administrative offices in Celina, as do the Presbytery of Northern Kansas and the Celina District of the United Methodist Church, which is based at Kansas Wesleyan University. A Buddhist temple is located northwest of the city. Notable individuals who were born in and/or have lived in Celina include former White House Press Secretary Marlin Fitzwater, dancer and war correspondent Betty Knox of the Variety Act Wilson, Keppel and Betty, astronaut Stephen Hawley, former governors of Kansas John W. Carlin and Bill Graves, radio broadcaster Paul Harvey, inventor of Lee Jeans Harry Lee. Christ Cathedral. Flanders Lee House. John H. Prescott House. Masonic Temple in Salina. Statue of Liberty replica. Aerial photo of Celina at night. Smoky Hills Museum. Watson Stiefel Theater. Salina First United Methodist Church.